South Africa's e-visa system will be rolled out to 15 countries by March next year. It hoped this year will, of course, boost tourism and attract scarce skills. Finance Minister eNCA made that announcement in his medium-term budget policy statement. But for more on this, we're now joined by the CEO of the Tourism Business Council, Mr. Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa. Mr. Tshivhengwa, thank you for your time and good morning to you. Your reaction to that official announcement made by the Finance Minister around e-visa systems just yesterday?
Well, good morning to you and to your viewers. I think the announcement made by the Finance Minister is welcomed. We must remember that we have been talking about e-visa system since, I think, 2019, if not 2018, when the President talked about the need for us to implement or to build a world-class e-visa. So it is a project that's been long outstanding. We have been following up on it. We would have loved for this program to be rolled out much earlier in line with the opening of the international markets to make sure that our recovery is fast-tracked. But nonetheless, it's welcome news. We do hope that we get to the point where we can say that we have rolled it out to the countries that we've identified as the big source markets, including China and India. So it's very important that we get this rolled out to every other country outside of the 15 countries. Countries that still require visa to come to South Africa to fast-track the recovery of the tourism sector.
Yeah, just for some context, for anyone hearing the word e-visa for the first time, how exactly would it work?
Well, the e-visa works in a way that, those that are from the different countries that require visa to come to South Africa, instead of them going to the embassies or the high commissions to apply for those visas, they need to go to this online system. They need to apply, the adjudication takes place, and they get their visas online without them requiring to go to the consulate or to the embassy. What that does is that it saves time and it saves cost. If you look at a country like China, where we have only few high embassies around China, we need to have the e-visa system so that people who are coming from other provinces don't need to travel far or make a trip before they make a trip to South Africa. So it's an ease of access issue to make sure that it's easier for people to come to South Africa, it's easier for people to get the paperwork that they need, and therefore we'll get more people coming into South Africa. Many countries have done this. If you look at Turkey, the Turkish visa takes you sometimes 5 minutes. As soon as you finish, you click OK, 5 minutes, you get your paper, you print out, you're ready to go. And many other countries have done it in the African continent. So we're a little bit behind, and we need to fast track to make sure that the recovery of tourism is faster and more people are able to come to South Africa and we create jobs and so forth and so on.
And speaking of creating jobs, I mean, obviously we know that it's hoped to boost up on tourism, but attracting those scarce skills, how important is it to boost jobs in that regard?
Well, part of the e-visa platform is to enable it, enable those that want to apply for jobs or scarce skills here in South Africa to use that particular system to apply. So from the tourism point of view, the scarce skills that we need are, people who speak different languages, who can help us with guiding, who can help us with other things that we need to do. As an example, when we're targeting the China market, as an example, we need, tour guides that can speak Mandarin or Cantonese. And we need to get those skills sometimes from those countries so that they can come here and they can come and teach our own local people so that they can take over, going forward. If you look at German, we've got very few German-speaking tour guides, Italian, and others, that are critical to us as a tourism industry. So those type of rare skills, and I'm sure other sectors would have the rare skills that they would want to get into the country to make sure that they capacitate the local skills that we have.
Yeah, and Mr. Tshivhengwa, you did mention that we're a bit, behind. Other countries have already implemented the e-visa system. It's working in those countries. So in your engagements then with government, especially following the announcement by the Finance Minister, when can we expect to have, of course, this system implemented where South Africans at large can make use of it?
Well, this system, the e-visa system has been implemented. There has been pilot programs done by Home Affairs in Kenya and in other places to test how the system is going to work. However, what we're saying is that this system should have been done back then, especially when we were in the middle of the COVID pandemic and when we had restrictions. what we would have loved to see is that by the time we get out of the pandemic or at a lower level of restriction, and the time that the international markets are starting to open up, and the time that the world is opening up to travel, we should have had this system up and running to support the recovery of tourism. We have been talking to Home Affairs about this system for many, many years. We have inspected it from our side to see how it's going to work. What we want is a system that's faster, is the system that's agile, is a system that can be rolled out across the world. We still have countries in Eastern Europe that are part of the European Union, but they still require visas to come to South Africa. We need to solve that situation because we don't even have missions in those countries. And there's demand coming from those particular countries. So that's why we're saying that the rollout should have been happening much earlier.
Right.
We should have been, more than 15 countries by now, because we're still talking about 15 countries by the end of March, which, there's still about 4 months to go. So by now, we would have loved those 15 countries to be done and to be using that system and adding more countries in a strategic way to make sure that, our tourism is boosted.
Yeah, so it's the pace at which the implementation of this e-visa system is currently going that needs to be interrogated further. But thank you for speaking to us, the CEO of the Tourism Business Council, Mr. Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa. Thank you for your time this morning.